God bless you. My name is Daniel Zamora. I'm 25 years old, and I just want to let you know a little bit about myself. I grew up at a young age. My father passed away when I was 8 years old. I grew up with a single mother. I grew up with a young man with a lot of hurt, a lot of anger, a lot of depression. And those things, as I grew older, they began to surface, and a lot of things started to take place within my life. At the age of my teenage years, I began to get kicked out of school. I began to experience alcohol and marijuana, and then at the age of 14 years old, I was a 14-year-old kid addicted to crystal meth. I was already addicted, trying to hustle and find a way to smoke. I was young, but I was living a life that I shouldn't be living at the age. I was living a life that was not for me. But I wanted that. Those are the things I wanted to do at the age, because those were the things that filled it, that I thought could fill in those voids in my heart. But I grew up a life like that. In my teenage years, I was in and out of juvenile hall. I was in programs. I was always getting arrested. I was always getting into trouble, getting kicked out of places, being disrespectful to my family or people around me. I didn't care. I was a young person that was just selfish, and I thought, if no one cares about me, I'm not going to care about no one else. But there was actually people that cared about me. And as time grew on, as I became 18 and 19 years old, I ended up leaving my mom's house, and I got into unhealthy relationships, and I began to get more into drugs. I even experimented with heroin, and that's where I began to see myself. I was homeless. I was living in a friend's car, living in the streets, sleeping on the bleachers at the skate park. Many things were taking place within my life, but I thank God for that day when I felt empty inside, and I said, you know what, this is not for me. For many years, I was trying to live a lifestyle that wasn't for me, and that's when I went into the Victory Outreach Recovery Home right there, and I thank God, because that's where I began to learn to pray. That's where I began to learn how to get a hold of God instead of running to many things that the world has to offer, but I ran to what God has to offer. And I thank God for the change that's happened in my life, because now I'm able to have a relationship with my family, have a relationship with the people around me. I'm able to minister to those that are like me, that how I used to be, and I'm able to minister to them and let them know, and also set an example to let them know, like, look, there's more to life than just living that lifestyle. And I want to let you know one thing: I'm a survivor. And you can also be a survivor. You might be looking at this, and you might be right there in your place, or wherever you might be, and you might say, you know what, I'm going through the same thing. I want to let you know you could be a survivor also. I want to encourage you, come and be part of what God's doing, because the same thing that God's doing for me, He can do for you. God bless you guys.